What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Fourth and Wrong. I am your host, Tyler Huck, and with me, as always, my co-host, Chris Marler. Chris, how are we feeling going into Week 4 here in college football?
I feel pretty good. How's my audio? Is it bad?
No, it sounds good, actually.
Okay, good. I'm not using the mic, which is stupid. I'm getting a new mic tomorrow, by the way, just in time for us to not record.
Nice.
I feel good. Bam,
Yeah.
a little bit.
We got the mojo back.
Mickey C tomorrow. That should be fun. I'm just looking at this whole thing, and I'm like, through the lens of a fan, which is what we can do on here. We'll give some objective opinions as well. But the lens of a fan, I kind of feel like everybody's beatable. And I feel real good about Georgia in 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Well, we definitely will get into that soon. Oh, we got to record before that game.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. We may record on Tuesday of next week or something of that ilk. As always, we want to recap a little bit of Week 3 before we jump into the Week 4 slate. I'm excited about this week, Chris, before we dive back into Week 3.
Good. It's a pretty good. I mean, not SEC-wise, but nationally, I feel it's a pretty good slate.
Texas Tech, Utah, I'm excited for. Not only because you got, I think, so Texas Tech, I haven't seen any of them yet, but apparently, like, the metrics really like them. And Utah's awesome. That game is a noon game Eastern time being played at Utah.
10 a.m.
Kick off at 10 a.m., baby.
That fucking sucks, dude. That's meant for like rec soccer. There's just dew on the grass. You got a belly full of Cocoa Crisp or Cocoa Puffs, whatever. And you're like, yeah, I'll go run around for 60 minutes, 90 minutes, whatever. I don't care. I'm 8. I don't give a shit.
Does the total's 57.5 in that game? We'll get to it, but do you think the early start helps or hurts do you think it's more of an over type situation or an under?
I don't know. Anytime I hear Utah, I want to say under, but I will tell you this, Utah at home, remember we did a deep dive on this a couple of years ago. Utah at home is like a different animal. Like they're really good at home.
Rice Eccles, bro? You just don't go to Rice Eccles.
No one goes to Rice Eccles. What a name.
Yeah.
Unless it was called White Eccles, there's no way to make that sound whiter than it is. Also, can we talk about Dabo at some point?
Yeah, we need to. So let's talk about Week 3, and we'll surely get to that when we talk about Clemson and Georgia Tech. But okay, why don't we just start there? Because it was a noon game on Saturday. Number 12 Clemson at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech finally gets the best of Clemson, 24-21 on a record tying for the school, Georgia Tech. 55-yard field goal. Basically, entire special teams team just sprints onto the field.
Yeah.
Which it actually got me thinking, is that like kind of the play?
Okay, so wait, in general?
Yeah.
If you're looking at Max Gilbert, who's like,
yeah, he's just, that's what I'm saying. I saw that same game in the very next time slate, and I'm like, this dude's freaking out, waiting to kick this kick.
I remember growing up, I forgot what game it was, but I remember hearing my dad say this all the times. And like when you'd see a kid lining up to kick a big kick, he would always be like, "Stop looking at it. Stop looking. Like, do not psych yourself out. Go through the same motions you go through every single time. It's bowling. It is do the exact same things you do. It is repetition. That's it. And mechanics, muscle memory. Golf is a great example. Bowling sounds dumber, I think. So that's a good. I'm glad you're here. But that whole thing, this is why I love Evan Grimes. We're in the spread here. We got to get some parlay P picks too. But the idea that they were talking to Brent Key about this the day before, and he was like, they said they saw him practice this, and they were doing the fire drill, I think is what it's called, field goal unit, and they kept practicing it. I personally love when shit like that happens because then it's like awesome that you saw it play out in real time into their favor, and they were able to do it. Like that's just good preparation.
Yeah, I mean, I actually I'm kind of being serious. Like, I think that is kind of the play to just run out there, not have time to sit there, and you're waiting there as the kicker, waiting. Are they going to call a timeout? Are they going to call a timeout? Just go out there and do it. Now, I've seen people argue that Dabo should have called a timeout because at the bare minimum,
get in his head.
If he misses it, you still have. There was I think 20 seconds when they ran out there. you still, I mean, you're going to be basically on the 40. Potentially get a play, get back in field goal range. I mean,
that's a good dude. We don't talk about how good a shape these kids are in. If someone told me to go kick a field goal, I know I wouldn't make it. But if someone told me to go sprint onto a field and then kick a field goal, I can't fucking imagine.
Well, dude, he was set up to kick with like 8 seconds left.
Yeah.
Plenty of time. He's just.
Did you feel like he was going to not snap the ball at one point? Like,
yeah. So obviously in the game, Tech got out to the early lead and basically dominated Clemson. Clemson's offense was terrible in the first half until the very end of the half.
Yeah.
Klubnik goes in and scores. They had 4 possessions in the first half, Clemson. They had Klubnik fumbling in his own red zone. They had missed field goal, punt, and then they scored with like 40 seconds left in the first half.
That's Iowa football, baby.
Yeah.
Well, you know what sucked too, though, Tyler, was, and I thought this was going to be what cost Tech the game later on, which was Clemson got the ball. You're up. I think they were up 14-0 at the time, or 14-3 maybe.
13-0.
13-0. You're sitting there. There's 5:44 left in the first half, I want to say, and you have forced them into a 3rd and 23. And all you got to do is get off the field. And they gave it to
you. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know.
And it was like a 35-yard gain on a run play. And it wasn't like it was like it was so bad that they allowed that to happen. And then they scored. And like, to Clemson's credit, they went down the field. They took the rest of the time, like most of the rest of the time off the clock, and they were able to score. That's what I thought was going to go sideways for Tech. I'm so glad it didn't, man.
Yeah, Clemson takes the lead, 14-13. Then Tech responds, 13 plays, 6-minute, 90-yard touchdown drive.
That's unreal.
Highlighted with the old Philly special on the 2-point conversion. So you're feeling good if you're Tech. Clemson, got to give them credit. They battle back. They go down the field and score, tie it at 21 with 3.5 minutes left. And then Haynes King leads them down, field goal range, fire drill, knocks the 55-yarder at the buzzer. Haynes King is fun to watch, man. Like, there's no way that he'd last the full season. The dude is just hobbling out there basically from the first quarter on. Like, there was thoughts that he may not even play in the game. Like, he's just, how long is he going to be the quarterback? Because
he's still injured from last season, by the way. Like, he's like the offseason did nothing for him. He is still trying to get past everything that happened last year.
Now I will say, if you look at Tech's schedule, like, if he stays healthy, it's not hard, Chris.
Do they play y'all?
No. They don't play us. They don't play Miami. They don't play. I don't think there's anybody else that's good in the ACC. So, obviously they got Georgia, but you set yourself up to be in the ACC title game.
Haynes King will dice Georgia up, dude. Like, I'll give Georgia their props for the win, but they have a lot of things to answer.
Clemson, if you're a Clemson fan, and we'll get to Dabo next, you got to be frustrated. I mean, you take a look at the box score. Like, you had more yards per play, you had more yards per attempt, you had more yards per carry, you had more rushing yards. Like, you did everything you could you had less penalties than Georgia Tech, but it's Klubnik with the turnovers. The one interception didn't hurt him, but the fumble in the red zone, like, that's the difference of the game. That you fumbled, you got Georgia Tech to go 3 and out, but they kicked a field goal. That's 3 points. What's the score? 24-21. I mean, Klubnik it seems like he's such a peak and valley guy. Like, you just never know what guy is going to go into the game that you're going to get.
Yeah.
And, ultimately, I don't know what kind of draft pick you'll be if you have that. Like, the lows are still in there for him. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not like, I'm not saying this to be a dick, but like, LSU's defense is really good. LSU's defense is very, very good. It's not like Tech is known for their defense. And they were down at halftime against Troy. Like, there's so much of college football right now where I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't know if we know who's good, who's not good. There's so many uncertainties. USC's 3-0 right now out in California. I haven't seen them play for a fucking second. Like, haven't got to see a ton of Oregon except for them going to that Erector Set Stadium in Northwestern. There's so many different teams and unknowns that we think are going to be good. But Clemson, it kind of feels like we can say with pretty good, firm belief and proof now through 3 games, I don't think they're going to be very good. And I tell you what's going to happen, Tyler. Dabo is the new Jimbo. And Dabo's going to do what Jimbo did, which is, hey, listen, I knocked us out of playoff contention very early on. That's gone. That is gone now. But what I'm going to do from here on out, I'm probably going to go win, 7 or 8 of my last 9 games. I'm going to have a respectable season. I'm going to go beat Carolina in the season on a good note, go get a bowl game win in the fucking Cheez-It Bowl or Pop-Tart Bowl or whatever. And then you guys are going to want to be like, hey, we have something to build off of. That's Dabo now. You playing it? I can't hear
that. No. Okay. Well, that's
Parlay Pete in the house.
I don't know if anyone else heard the drop. I was doing the old Dabo press conference from a couple years ago when Tyler from Spartanburg called in.
Tyler.
I ain't never failed at one thing in my life, Tyler.
Ability.
So tell me what you thought about that press conference.
Did you see my video today? The video I did?
Oh, no. Well, I did see that actually right before I came on here.
It's not as good as the Sarkisian one. He sucks. I was told this directly by somebody that had conversation with him in that arena. He's just kind of like a prick. He's just kind of like he comes off as very disingenuous. And the more I see it, the more I
holier than thou.
Which I get.
Y'all would be nothing without me here. Y'all want to get rid of me? Get rid of me. I'll go to the next place and I'll haunt your dreams.
That line right there is what pissed me off, because it him defending himself and being like, you guys remember what it was like before me? Do you guys remember blah blah blah? Fine, whatever. We can still have Stockholm syndrome with you if you want to be a dick about everything. Totally get it. Tell us how good it used to be, Dabo. Tell us how good it used to be and how we're never going to get back to there. But him saying, run me off or whatever, and I'll go coach somewhere else. Now that comes into a situation where it's because it's not the administration that's saying it. I guarantee the administration is not saying, we got to have a talk. You need to be in my office. We're going to have a conversation about this. It's fans, which means he's too fucking involved in seeing what fans are saying, what people are saying online, or reacting to it too defensively. And then on top of all that, he's not able to sit here and have any sort of accountability for what he's the fucking person in charge. Maybe you should have kicked off the fucking season with an interview on ESPN where you came down a goddamn slide, dude. Maybe just go be a football coach. I just don't get it. And the whole idea that he has such power over these people. And I'll be honest, knowing a decent amount of Clemson fans, he does. They're like, don't come. We're so sorry, Daddy. Don't do that. What?
Oh man.
Don't ever tell anyone I call Dabo Daddy.
Not that I think Syracuse is going to win the game, because I think it's 17.5-point spread. But this Saturday, Syracuse goes into Clemson, the old nooner. I mean, too many people are real jazzed up about watching the Tigers on the field right now. Don't let Fran Brown come in there and just totally fuck up the whole season.
It has to be the worst week of Clemson existence in probably since he got there. You had the loss. You had all the shit with their employees that was all over the place. That had dude, when the school is posting something that's getting over 1 million views on Twitter, that's not good. That's never good. And so you had that, then you had the close loss to Troy. Vibes are low in Fake Death Valley. Vibes are very low.
Vibes are low in a couple of different places. We'll get to that. Yeah. If you're on social media and you don't follow Chris, obviously you need to, first of all, but then you got to go see the video that he made about the Dabo press conference there.
Thanks, Tyler.
Thinking about another guy that had a wonderful press conference, Brian Kelly and the LSU Tigers.
Dude, I was sitting there in the room and it was so funny. It was I didn't realize he wasn't joking. Dude, I was full on black uncle, like like knee slapping, fucking. I was about to run out of the room laughing and crying so hard from laughing. It was hysterical. And then he kept going. I was like, oh, he's serious. Okay, my bad, coach. It's like, dude, the guys who come around with the mics. One of them was sitting next to me, and him and I just kept looking at each other like, "No, you see this guy was hilarious." And then it got very real very quick.
So, do you know the guy that asked those questions? Because he seems like a big LSU fan.
So no. Cobble's great. His name's Mike Cobble. He's a great dude. Now I will say it's funny because Cobble. So remember the week that I told you about before Clemson, and I was like, "Hey, coach, just quick question. Just having to defend or trying to block Clemson's defensive line. Will we see more 12 personnel out of you guys this week?" And like I didn't realize how dickheadish of a question that sounded. And Cobble, as soon as Brian Kelly walks out, Cobble goes, "Hey guys, everyone hear Chris Marlar's question? Just want everyone. Chris Marlar knows ball. You guys know that? He clearly knows football. He watched a lot of football. Ask him about tight end personnel." And I'm like, "Fuck you, Cobble."
Did you get him back? Are you gonna get him back?
No, that whole thing was so uncomfortable that when I realized what was happening, and it somebody was like, "Did you have a question you were going to ask?" I was like, "Not after that. I couldn't imagine." But no, it was. All
right, look, real quick, let's pause.
Yeah.
What if the SID are like, "All right, next question," and then you're up next? What would you have asked?
I would have sucked up to him. I would have been a huge bitch. I would have been a huge. You guys did.
But how funny would it have been? How viral would it have been if you were like, to follow up on that last question, Coach, the third downs really have been a problem.
No, Mike made a pretty good point. Mike, you had a couple other things you brought up to me off camera. What was crazy was you
thought the timeout usage has been a little suspect the last couple of weeks. Yeah. You were saying that, Mike, weren't you?
You hate his wife? What's wrong with you? She's lovely. She invited all of us over for dinner. No, he it was funny because the guy after him who asked the question, I think he's the guy that has Notre Dame at 10 in his rankings.
Okay.
Yeah. So but he also, yep. And he also, he's a good dude. But he also, I think there's been something in the past where he was where they were like, "Hey guys, we're not gonna talk about this injury or something," before the interview. And then they'll we'll take questions now. And that kid will raise his hand and he'll be like, "So the injury was so-and-so." And they're like, "We just fucking went over this." That guy had the next question. And as he's asking it, Brian Kelly and him have never had a pleasant back and forth, I feel like. And he goes, great question. And it was like, this is incredible.
Obviously, LSU walks away with the win, cover the spread. I don't know that I know a ton about LSU right now.
No, they're not a finished
product. Their defense is clearly good. I mean, DJ Lagway throwing 5 picks is unbelievable.
We could have seen that coming.
By the way, if you're Florida, that defense played pretty good.
That defense is really good.
And you turn over the ball 5 times and still have a chance. Or you throw 4 picks and you still have a chance to win towards the end of the game. And he throws a fifth interception, DJ Pickett, the 6'9" corner.
Dude,
So on one hand, you're like, well, LSU now has beat Clemson and Florida, which on paper before the season you would say is a great start to the season.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's you picked them off 5 times, and the final score was 10-point win, 20-10. I mean, it's offense is struggling. What do you think? They still seem like they can't run the ball. I know that Durham kind of broke one off towards the end there, but seems like they still can't really run the ball.
No, they can't. And remember before the season, I think I told you this. I wish there was a way we could bet on the opposite of something happening, because the person who had the best odds in the SEC to lead the SEC in rushing was who was it? Was Caden Durham.
Mm-hmm.
He had the best, and it was they couldn't run the ball last year, and now they have all new offensive line. So it's I do want to go back to a second. Like they couldn't run the football. I think for different reasons. Like they're both really good defenses they were going up against. I think Florida's defense is a lot better than people are giving credit for because of the shit show that's been created now with Florida. Think about this, dude. If Florida just beat South Florida, and then they go lose to LSU, which was expected, they lose to LSU and they have 5 interceptions. Surely he's not going to have 5 interceptions in another game. Like, so the narrative just becomes different of like, we lost, but we had like the worst game ever from our quarterback. Like, there's so much more hope. I have been very, very vocal about being in the corner of Billy Napier getting a fair shake. With what came out today about Jabbar Jaluk, whatever, how do you say his last name?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like, there's not a ton more of evidence that I personally need to think that he's lost control of the situation. You had a player spit in someone's face on the final drive of the game, in a game you were ahead in and then lost on the last second field goal. But you had a player spit in someone's face a week before.
You did.
I was sitting on the sideline, Siler, humble brag, and Florida came out on the field and walked the entire length of the field. And I was like, this is stupid. Like, if anything, you should come in and be humble and be like, we're going to show you, blah, blah, blah. You walked right through all the shit they were doing. Yeah. You walked right over the student section. You had multiple guys go over the student section, do this thing, which is the best celebration in the country.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This whole thumbs down thing.
It is kind of like the 2 thumbs down is kind of like, oh, damn.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And so then they start a fight. Then they started a fight during the game. You had several other instances happen during the game. At the end of the game, when they were trying to take a knee, same shit. And so I'm looking at this team and I'm like, you had all those things happen. You had a person spit in someone's face. And then on top of the losses, you had that. And you had an assistant coach slap a kid in the face. Like, first off, he's gone. You can't suspend him for 3 games. Like, that's, I mean, we're laughing about it, but like, have you? Crazy. That's insane. That's insane to slap another player in the face. You're a fucking 55-year-old man. And the first, you shouldn't be jawing with him in the first place, you idiot. Like, it's kids talking shit. They're about to go play a game. You're not involved, brother. And then you look at the backstory, and it's like he was at ULL. He's from Louisiana. Like, that game obviously meant a lot for him. But if I'm looking at this from an administration standpoint, I'm like, dude, Billy has not been great winning and losing winning games. He's losing games a lot. It's only going to get worse. We all know that. And then he's having players spit in people's faces, and this guy slaps him. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah, this comes off I know. Come off right off the game where you just spit and basically lost the game for your team. Then you do that before the game. And look, I mean, last year we talked last week about how the Gators responded when things were going wrong last year, and they kind of rallied. I think at this point, though, like, first of all, you're about to go play Miami in a night game, college game day. Probably not the best spirits in the Florida locker room right now. Miami seems to be probably one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the country, I would say, at least right now. I mean, it's hard to argue that anyone's better, better. Maybe Oregon.
I did. I told you this off camera. I wanted to put Carson Beck as my preseason pick to win the Heisman. And I saw the schedule, and all I kept thinking was DJ Uiagalelei all over again. And I cannot be wrong about an ACC transfer quarterback for a second year in a row. And now I feel stupid.
But last year, I think the difference was you at least had Lagway on the bench. That was like, people believe like, oh, he's got all the hype. Like, if we rally around this new guy, maybe we get things turned around, and it turns out they did. Well, a lot of the teams that you played last year down the schedule probably weren't as good as maybe they were thought to be at the beginning of the season. And now Lagway doesn't seem like the guy. I think their backup's the Harrison Bailey kid who's on, I guess, 5th school. Yeah. And what are you going to do, bench Lagway? I mean, Lagway might be the only reason Napier didn't get fired last year. You're already starting to get firings too. UCLA, like, obviously they're one of the worst Power 5 teams, Power 4. But Virginia Tech, I'm sitting there on Saturday. I look at the bottom line.
Oh my god!
And they're down 31-3 to Old Dominion at home. I'm like, brother, you knew that firing was coming.
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
And those kids can hit the portal now.
So they can't play like this year.
No, I don't think they can. But
I don't know at this point. Like I don't. I mean,
they're suiting up for Duke next week.
Also, UCLA should be a sleeping giant job. Like that should be a sleeping giant job. It won't be, but like.
Oh God! Apparently, our DC, who like everyone's raving about, obviously he did a good job against Bama. He played at UCLA.
Did he?
Yeah.
The thing that sucks is that like UCLA needs to do something creative to like be like this sounds stupid, but like a Boise State type thing where it's like you need to figure out Friday night games or something. I don't know if you even can with like the traffic over there, or whatever, but like people aren't coming to games. You need to figure out a way to make it unique again because they're in the shadow of everybody now.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, apparently they have a lot of problems. Quickly, Georgia, Tennessee. Moving on, like super quick, but obviously crazy game. I kind of walked away from it. Going into the game, I said I didn't know a lot about Georgia. Right now, I feel like I'm obviously feel a lot better about Gunnar Stockton going into that environment, throwing that ball to Humphrey. I mean, on fourth down, that's as good as it gets. But I actually came away probably more impressed with Tennessee than I thought I would.
Because they won.
Because Tennessee won, yes. Yeah. They didn't win. You just it's just felt like one of those things where Tennessee was probably the better team, but they just got in their own way when it came down to actually finishing a game against Georgia.
Sound like a Tennessee fan.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been in that situation before as a fan. I've watched my team go to Neyland Stadium and get down by 14 points in the first quarter, and it's a nightmare because it just feels like you're never going to get a stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to get a stop because you haven't been able to get a stop. And so it's like if you don't score to cut the lead to 7, or to 14 or whatever, it's so difficult. Georgia's lucky, man. Georgia is. I've said this a couple years ago on this show, but like Bama lost that game. They had 17 penalties for 130 yards in the game against Tennessee in 2022. That's why Georgia's Georgia. And that's why they're in those situations where they win those games because they're too disciplined. Zero false starts. Really, really great game for Tennessee. I was very impressed with them. They had nothing to hang their heads on or hang their heads about. I thought Joey Aguilar was great. I thought the play calling was really good. The scary part for the rest of the country and rest of the SEC is that they're not healthy. Like, they're down several starters. They're down potentially they're starting left tackle. They're starting 2 defensive backs. Or 2 cornerbacks. I think they're down 2 guys in the defensive line. I don't know if they're starters or not, but like they're really banged up. The schedule gets significantly easier for Tennessee, and it's also significantly easier for Tennessee, and then also they get I lost my train of thought.
Sweet.
Yeah, nailed it. I'm going to compliment Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think obviously you can't be happy that you lost the game, but I mean, the offense was really, really good. I mean, you were performing the 94th percentile on success rate. I mean, it's hard to get better than that, Chris. There's only 6 more percent. You know what I mean?
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, I think at one point, like in the fourth quarter, Tennessee had like a 80-90% chance to win the game. The damn kicker goes out there looking like a fool with his damn hair coming down in his face through his helmet. I don't know what was going on.
We're hating hair now, Tyler?
Yeah. Well, I don't have any, so I can do that.
Here's the thing, too, that like I think that everyone needs to talk, like have like a real understanding of this. I'm preaching to everyone outside of Athens. I say nice stuff about Athens and Kirby Smart all the time. Everyone outside of there, shut the fuck up. Like, stop giving free fucking chips on the shoulder of Kirby Smart. Like, how fucking stupid. What does the track record have to be? How big does a track record have to be for you fucking idiots at Barstool or Fox or Joel Klatt or wherever else at orangebloods.com or whatever I said last year. Like how long does the track record have to be for you idiots to not get in front of a camera and say, no, I don't think Georgia's that good, man. We saw what they did against Austin Peay. No, you didn't. None of us watched the game against Georgia and Austin Peay because no one fucking cares. But to sit here and say out loud, no, that team's going to be really bad. Dude. Like, I don't think Gunnar Stockton can throw the football. Yeah, because the body of work and the sample size we've had really justifies that claim. It is the easiest thing to do in sports this year. Like, I'm all for a hot take. I'm all for a bold opinion, all that kind of stuff. The easiest thing to do is be quiet. I'm really bad at it. But if you'll notice, one thing I do a pretty good job of is not talk shit about Georgia because they're the best program in the country. And here we go again. All offseason, we gave Kirby's. We just became the entire fucking media became Tony Robbins for fucking Kirby Smart. All offseason, you guys aren't that good. I don't think they can throw the football for it. You don't think that Kirby Smart recruited a quarterback? Like, how fucking stupid are you? They actually went to the portal and spent money. It's just so dumb. It's just so dumb.
The receiver room looks a little different this year
because they're not dropping passes.
Yeah, and they got some studs, man. Branch is fun to watch. Noah Thomas out there. And Chris Brazzell for Tennessee, awesome. Yeah. Post game, I always looking at kind of just nerd stats after games. 24% post game win expectancy for Georgia.
What does that mean?
It means if they play the game 100 times, they would be expected to win that game the way it played out 24 times.
Where are you finding that stat? That's fun.
That's just I can't delve into my secrets.
Where's Florida State Bama?
It was literally 100%. Well, and it's to Bama's credit against Wisconsin this week, 100% post game win expectancy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Not a shock that Georgia won the game, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting game between Bama and Georgia because I think Ty Simpson might be good.
Not might be. He is good. Jeff or Evan or Parlay P, who's number 7 for Georgia on defense?
It's a Daniel Harris, the big corner.
I think so. If I am Ryan Grubb, I am throwing the football 45 times in this game. And 44 of those times, I'm throwing right at fucking Daniel Harris. That kid sucks. I would throw over him all fucking day. Like all day. I think I just broke my own rule, by the way.
Somebody get ready to clip it. With that pick 6 coming your way. A couple weeks.
That'll be tough.
South Carolina's down bad.
Fuck, man. So bad.
Is Lenoris playing this week? Because Mizzou just might run them off the field if not.
They're a 13.5 point underdog.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I hate it, Tyler. It opened at 6.5. It was bet up to 13.5 in like an hour. They came out with the report. He's listed as questionable. That they don't win the game if he doesn't play. Period.
I mean, he lost 31-7 to Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Vanderbilt's good.
At home? Yeah, who's I think better than Vanderbilt is Missouri.
They're way better. Not way better, but yeah.
What else? Oh, Ole Miss, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Trinidad. Your boy Trinidad James, boy.
Gold on my watch.
The old Ferris State transfer coming in. Going for, what did he go for? 400 total yards himself?
420 yards, I think, yeah. Ferris State.
That was fun. Arkansas was actually decent. I was a little off on them last week when I thought Pittman was on the hot seat. I mean, he still could be, but they're a fun team.
Oh, yeah, Vandy team total, by the way. Going to cash again. Oh, you want me to keep talking? And another thing, Daniel Harris.
Yeah.
No, Arkansas is they're a really fun team to watch. Arkansas is kind of like this year's Vandy. You got a quarterback that's really fun to root for, the team that's really fun to root for. I love Pittman, man. I think they're good enough to beat some teams, especially if Taylon Green's playing the way he's playing. The defense seems like it might be a liability. That part sucks. But other than that, man, they've been really fun.
All right, let's get into this week because, by the way, I'm moving Georgia. I'm moving Texas A&M. I'm moving Bama. And I'm moving Georgia Tech into my teams I feel good about in the AP Top 25.
I don't remember who I felt good about or bad about last week.
I know.
Thanks, dude.
By the way, I'm moving down Notre Dame. Don't feel good. I'm down on Notre Dame at this point.
Still ranked, though, Tyler.
Still ranked. That's why they're part of the list.
Hey, let's talk about that girl from Oregon who ranked South Carolina 10th this week.
She's still out here?
What?
Is this a new one?
This is a new one.
It's not the same girl.
This is a new one. I don't care how this sounds, Tyler. I'm going to say it. Hell yeah, Chris Haynes. Or Chris Hayes. I'm going to say Haynes. That was a lot of fun. I don't care if you're a woman or a man. I'll stop there. I don't care if you're like race, religion, creed, gender, any of those things. That should not matter. If you want to talk sports, talk sports. But you do have to do the job. And I went on this rant last week about Haley Sawyer, and like, there's a part of me that really does feel bad about like these beat writers that have to cover the sport. There's no way that they're able to see all those like different teams, especially when they're covering their own team. Yeah. But brother, you couldn't like this is 2 weeks in a row that a West Coast female has put a team in the top 10 or moved up or an SEC like that lost and then didn't rank the team that beat them. And I'm not saying that's even a trend. What I am saying is I desperately need you to take the job seriously. Desperately need it. No, Parlay P. No.
All right. You want to start getting into this week's slate?
I guess. I got 22 minutes, Tyler, for the rest
of
my life. Hey, we started watching The Morning Show. Have you seen that?
No, but I've heard good things.
It's good stuff.
All right. Let's start in the SEC. I think fun little game start off the day. Arkansas, Memphis.
Ooh. If you love crime, you will love this game in Memphis.
Memphis is currently I don't know what it is right now, but when I was taking notes earlier today, there was 7-point underdog at home to Arkansas.
I would take the points in that, and whatever the over is.
62.5.
Still take the over.
I like that. That game should be fun. 3:30 ABC game in Norman, Oklahoma. Number 22 Ooh! Auburn going into Norman to face number 11 Oklahoma. Last I checked, 6.5-point favorite Oklahoma at home. Total 48.5. Much lower than the previous game.
Singleton dealing with a hip pointer for Auburn. So that's interesting. He's listed as, I think, questionable or maybe probable. I don't know. I will also tell you that this Auburn team is good. I'm pulling for Jackson Arnold in this game. I'm so tired of the narrative about Jackson Arnold, about how he was so bad at Oklahoma. Dude had 4 offensive play callers in 2.5 years. Like, he had his top 5 receivers out. He had the worst offensive line in the country. I've said it 1,000 times. I'm pulling for Jackson Arnold. Here's the issue, Tyler, that Oklahoma could be good. John Napier, I think currently is a little bit overrated because 3 games, an interception in each game. It's not like they've played a ton of great teams, right? Michigan was at home. You had Western Illinois. You had Temple on the road for some reason. But, like, he's not going to win the Heisman, in my opinion. That is not going to that narrative is not going to change, though, this week. He might throw for 800 fucking yards on this Auburn secondary. They are terrible. Like, they are terrible.
Really? Because SP Plus has them as the 14th ranked defense.
No. They're secondary. Have you watched them play this season?
I watched them play against Baylor.
South Alabama moved the ball up and down the field. I think they had more yards than them. on Saturday. The secondary gave up like 400 yards passing, I think, to Baylor. This Oklahoma offense is going to eat them alive. But I also think Auburn's offense is going to be pretty good. Like I love Auburn's front seven. They get after the quarterback. They've got like the second most sacks in the SEC so far through 3 games with like 11. Really impressive. I think that might be behind Oklahoma, who has 12. But the secondary is a fucking liability, dude. Their secondary is bad. Are you fact checking me right now?
No.
Team total for Oklahoma, whatever it is, hammer.
Okay. All right. I like that bet. I do think Oklahoma wins this game. I think they cover the spread. I could see something where both teams are in the 20s, so it'll be close to that total. Something like Oklahoma 27, 28-21. Just cover the spread. Just go over the total. I like Oklahoma this year, man. I mean, Venables always has good defense. It's not any different. I did see that their best D tackle was suspended for the first half of this game.
What did he do?
He punched a cop. I'm just kidding. No, I think he got a targeting injection or something last game.
Oh yeah, he did
in the second half. So yeah, I like Oklahoma to win this game, and but if Auburn does, man, what's that mean about Auburn going into Norman?
Yeah,
I think a lot of people had Hugh firmly on the hot seat coming in. I mean, that's a way to save your job.
Watching these two fan bases argue online, mainly Auburn, all week.
I mean,
it's just been so incredibly stupid and hilarious.
Elsewhere in the SEC, I mean, the South Carolina-Missouri game I thought was going to be good, but I don't know what's going on. Is Sellers playing this week?
We don't know yet. He's listed as probable, or I'm sorry, questionable. The question is, man, more than anything, it's like you just got to look at the offense. I mean, Mizzou has a top 5 defense and a top 5 offense in terms of yards allowed in the country. Now, they haven't played the strongest schedule, but Bo Pribula at quarterback, I'm about to burp or throw up. I can't tell which one.
Okay.
Bo Pribula he had, I want to say, I think he's leading the SEC in completion percentage, like 76.4%. He's been great. Can also beat you with his legs. Everyone's like kind of doubting South Carolina, and I understand why. I really do. The offense has not been good. They ranked last or second to last in like yards per game, points per game, third down conversions, rushing yards. What's the other one? Sacks allowed, tackles for loss allowed. Like, it's been bad. They've also been here before. I think last year there was the same exact situation through the first 6 games. They ranked in the bottom 5 in the SEC in 23 of 30 offensive categories. I remember because I wrote it all down in pencil in my little handy-dandy notebook. And they could turn it around. I don't feel as inspired this year just because they've been weirdly – like they should have come out of the gates on fire with this offense. The other part too, Tyler, is Lenore Sellers. Everyone keeps talking about how he's been off. He was 6 of 7 for like 94 yards before he came out of the Vandy game. They don't win that game if he plays. But also, like, I think he was off to a good start. The only game he's played poorly in is that South Carolina State game, which there was a monsoon. So I still believe in Sellers. He can go out there and be the ultimate equalizer if he's healthy. And then lastly, he only has 40 – I don't know what that means. He only has – it's nice that Athens Steve is here, taking a break from retweeting stuff from MSNBC. To join us tonight. This is good, Athens Steve. Good to see you here, brother. But the Lenore Sellers has 24 carries for 45 yards this year rushing the football. That means his first touchdown of the year was 15. That's not a joke. It was 15 yards. So that means since the first touchdown of the year, 23 carries for 30 yards. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. But I am honestly, I'm with Steve on this one. Like, I think Stockton has been better than Sellers. Like, we're a quarter of the way through the season. You have to be honest and objective about it. He's not played to the level. Like, I just didn't think you were going to have him put on the cape and be Superman this early. And you absolutely need him to do that to beat Missouri.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. I mean, you said the spread's at 13.5 now?
Yeah.
Jeez. And I was taking notes on this game, I think yesterday, and it was at 11.5.
Oh, it's at 10.
Oh, so it's going back the other way. Maybe some positive seller news starting to leak out a little bit. The other big game here in the SEC is obviously Miami and Florida. I think the only real question here is, do you think Florida gets up off the mat, or are they done? You're going to throw up, aren't you? I personally believe that you would like to say that in a game like this, Florida, Miami.
Oh, why is Gaines in here?
All these guys play high school together. You think they'd be going at it for 4 quarters, but then I look at the game last year, and Miami blew out Florida. I think Miami might be
good, dude. The Florida's defense is good.
I think Miami might be one of the better teams, at least as it currently stands.
That's because you're a bitch and you're scared of them.
Miami's 7.5-point favorite at last check. If that's changed, let me know.
No, it's 7.5 still. But here's what worries me, Tyler. If we're being like, you've seen stuff like this happen before, I'm with you. If you can circle the wagons, if you can figure out a way, rivalry game, in-state, all the shit you said, all that stuff can play out. Here's the other thing that can play out. If Miami jumps on them early, if Miami jumps on them early, something's bad is happening. If they jump on them early, this thing has a potential to like go off the rails, and they could roll over and die quickly. There's nothing that this team from Florida has shown me that makes me think they're going to get up off the mat, or at least not make enough dumb decisions to get in their own way to do so.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think Miami continues its run here and covers the spread. I mean, I like something like kind of big, like 34, 23, 24, covering that 7.5. The 2 games I like in the Big Ten, Michigan, Nebraska. I think if at any point Nebraska wants to announce that it's finally realistically a playoff team, not just hype before the season, they have to go out and win this game. The problem is Bryce Underwood, Michigan finally let him use his legs last week, and all of a sudden they're putting up like 700 yards of offense. It's Central Michigan, but it's not like it's an FCS school. I mean, Central Michigan's an FBS school. Like he went crazy on him. So
it's at Nebraska.
It's at Nebraska, but Michigan is favored, or they were at 2.5 earlier today.
The third trip on the road for Michigan in the month of September in the last 6 years.
Hell yeah.
Second out of the 3 times going to Nebraska. Dylan Raiola has one of the top passer ratings, I think, and completion percentages in the entire country. I'll double check it because I know you'll fact check me if I don't. Let's see here. I made it up in my head. He is 4th in the country in completion percentage at 76.6%, 829 yards through 3 games, which I'm sure he hasn't played the entirety of those games. 8 touchdowns. This is the most important part here, Tyler. You ready? 8 touchdowns, no interceptions. I don't believe in Michigan. Michigan sucks, and I don't believe in them at all. I think Nebraska puts themselves back on the map this week. I'm excited for this, man. I have started to grow, and I don't feel great. Takis. I've never even had a fucking Taki. I'm just fat, John. I haven't had a Taki before in my life. But I think that I'm tired of the Michigan thing. Raiola does not suck. He does not suck this year. You're saying that, Steve, because he committed to Georgia and then left and committed to Nebraska and ended up there. And I get it, but like he's been much better. He will probably not look as great against a Michigan defense that I'm sure will be ready. But is Sharon Moore coaching this game?
No.
Nebraska by 1 million. Actually, now that line seems kind of smelly. Fuck.
It does. Feels like it's begging you to take Nebraska.
Begging for it.
And I'm taking Nebraska as well. I'm taking them straight up. I think they win this game. The other big game in the Big Ten, number 9, Illinois, going on the road to number 19, Indiana.
This is a big game.
It is a big game. I think these teams it's a great matchup. I think they're pretty evenly matched. Last I saw, Indiana was a 4.5-point spread at home, and I'm taking Illinois all day on that.
Yeah, I'm not.
Old Bird? Old Bird coming in?
What's the Bible bar? You know they're remaking Anaconda.
I did not.
Found that out today.
Is that all we do now? Is we just make Marvel movies and then remakes of old movies?
This one's different. It's weird. I don't really. It's like Paul Rudd's in it, Jack Black's in it. There's like a bunch of other people, but I was only thinking about that because remember they gave John Voight this weird Hispanic accent. The first was like, "What's up, baby bar? How you doing, baby bar?"
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, next time you're at a bar and you want to pick up somebody, definitely do the John Voight from Anaconda accent. People love it. Yeah, I'm with Parlay P in this one. I'm taking Indiana, I think, and I hate it.
Oh.
But also, he needs to drop his picks in here, and we need to get back on that as well because we had a great first week. I think I'm going to take Indiana. I'm going to be pulling so fucking hard for Illinois.
Really? Oh yeah. You don't like old Signetti up there, do you?
I'm going to try this again, see if it helps with the throw up feeling.
Oh God. Oh, that's what I forgot you did that. No wonder you feel that way. In the ACC, the big matchup is just the Miami-Florida game. I don't think there's any big matchups.
There's some other ones.
Then, what's that?
Are we missing any games?
I mean, we could certainly talk about Purdue Notre Dame if you'd like.
I don't at all.
How about Oregon State Oregon? The old Civil War. Shh, don't say that.
Oh, Ducks? Oregon State fucking sucks.
35.5 point.
Score 60 on them. Fuck them.
One thing I'm excited about, I will say, is I think that, well, granted, they haven't really played anybody yet, but I think USC could potentially be a little risky.
Yeah.
They play, Chris, they kick off against Michigan State at 11 p.m. on Saturday.
What is happening? Why are they doing this to us?
on Fox.
It's a good game. We haven't talked about Ole Miss Tulane.
Yeah, I do think that Ole Miss is going to blow them out, though.
Why?
I think they got something going there. I mean, I'm not. The Ole Miss defense isn't great, but Retzlaff. You think Retzlaff's going to come into Oxford?
You come on down here, like you, a lifelong Louisiana boy like myself. We're going down. You go into Oxford. You go eat their food, drink their drinks, sleep with the ladies. Go on down there, pay that $150 cover at the library or whatever overpriced bar they got. Fucking beat their ass in front of 60,000 people and then walk on home and go back to Louisiana. That's pretty good, huh?
I tried to I'm learning my lessons that you can't use AI to do research on games.
No, what are you doing? Like
Chris,
hold on. I will tell you this.
Chris, it said that this was a battle for state pride. Tulane and Ole Miss.
Okay, so I mean, it's tough. I will say also, you were at the forefront of this, and I think you knew when you told me this. I still remember this like 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. You were like, you should start getting into AI early, and I think the moment that came out of your mouth was the moment you realized that I was never going to do it. But you were like, you should do this, and I was like, yeah, no, you're right. I should learn AI. But you were ahead of the curve on that, so hats off to you. Hold on. I'm looking through the lines here. Florida State, Kent State, murder. Liberty JMU is a sneaky good game. I won't watch a second of.
Yeah.
UCF is a 7-point favorite to North Carolina.
I mean, obviously Texas Tech, Utah at noon, 10 a.m. local.
Can I give you my first lock of the week?
You can.
Duke money line.
Duke money line against this. Yeah, NC State is 3-0, but they are not good.
Yes.
I don't think. And yet they will be
Kansas, or not touching Temple and Georgia Tech. Kansas, West Virginia is interesting.
I like BYU over East Carolina, 6.5 point.
Oh yeah, I love that.
They're 6.5 on the road. I get it, but I mean East Carolina stinks.
Who played Georgia State earlier this year?
Ole Miss.
And they beat the shit out of them, right?
Yeah.
First half line.
Oh, yeah. I love Vandy. Vandy lost to Georgia State last year, didn't they?
Yeah. First half line at 13.5. I'm going to fucking throw up. I would take that as one of the best bets. I like that a lot. Hold on. Let's see. Dude, Oklahoma State's bad. What happened there? Let's see here. Washington State. I do. We don't. As somebody that's like been like very, very passionate about these teams having, trying to figure out a way to keep some of the natural things. Oh, Indiana's favored over Illinois.
Yeah, I'm taking Illinois in the points.
Okay. It's trying to keep things like as like historically the same and traditions alive and all that kind of shit. Washington State, Oregon State. I'm glad they're still playing those games, and I appreciate that as a fan. Baylor at 2.5 over Arizona State is more than interesting.
And it feels like Washington State and Oregon State have zero chance in either of those games.
They were by 19.5. Virginia and Stanford in a classic ACC battle. I tell you who's fun. That Calandra kid from Virginia last year is starting out there at UNLV. He's been a lot of fun to watch. Hold on. I'm going to circle back to this in a second. Colorado, Wyoming, got nothing on that. Yeah, USC, Michigan State, 11 p.m. That fucking sucks.
There's a couple money line underdogs that I think are like decent plays. Like I was looking, especially in the Big Ten, Nebraska, they're at home. They're obviously an underdog, plus 115.
Yeah.
Illinois plus 170 against Indiana. How about Rutgers at home on a Friday against Iowa? Plus 120 on the money line.
Okay.
The only one I really like, potentially, Memphis on the money line at home, plus 225.
Okay. Arkansas. I don't mind that. Let's wrap up the show because I got to go record one more pod. Then I can go watch you. I'm glad we get to do this, though. I know Eddie's gone for this week, but I'm glad we get to do this. It's a good show.
Yeah.
Eddie's texting us right now. But also, what was I going to tell you? Oh, can I say one thing before next week?
You may.
I know all of you are feeling confident. And I'm only talking to Georgia fans. I know all of you are feeling super confident because you just went to Tennessee and you were able to beat them. Okay. And in against all odds, you're able to beat them. I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm being honest. And I have been so one-sided in this game forever in favor of Georgia. But that Tennessee game makes me think that Ty Simpson is going to throw all over this defense. And I tell you what, you get very excited. You're at home. You barely lose there, right? Bama already lost to Florida State. Bama doesn't always beat Florida State. Lost to them in 2007.
Yeah.
Lost to them this year. Florida State's been pretty good historically against Alabama. Tyler, you know who hasn't?
Louisiana Monroe.
No, they have too. So fun fact.
Checkered past.
Vanderbilt, Louisiana Monroe, Georgia all have the same amount of wins against Alabama since November of 2007. Just all the blue bloods, all the powerhouses.
He's wondering where Bama's run game is. Jam Miller's gonna be back for that game.
I'm wondering where your defense is. I'm wondering where your defense is because here's the
talk
thing.
Is starting early.
This isn't Tennessee, and I love you, Parlay P. I love you, Evan Grimes, Jeff Williams. I love you. Very proud of your son. By the way, Jeff Williams' son is like a junior in high school, scoring touchdowns at tight end. He's like a grown ass man.
Nice.
I love all you guys, but you know and I know that this isn't fucking Tennessee, and you know and I know just the mental fucking trap you're going to put yourselves in starting this week. Like the last game is the clock is going to tick down to 0 on Saturday night, and it's going to officially be game week Sunday morning. And you're going to wake up and all of you are going to tell yourselves how confident you are. I get it. You should lie to yourself. I do it every day. But the whole thing is this, and I know that on Sunday, that clock's going to start ticking, buddy. And it's just going to keep ticking and keep ticking. And for like the 11th straight year, you're going to convince yourselves that like, oh, we're going to crush these demons. We're going to get this monkey off our back. Just like you thought last year. just like you thought in 2023, just like you thought in the ST championship game, just like you thought in 2020, just like you thought in second 26, just like you thought in 2015, just like you thought in 2012, and just like you thought in 2008. Tyler, these dumb idiots are talking about doing a blackout.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
A blackout.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just quote Scott Crocker and we'll close out. You're wearing black because you're headed to a motherfucking funeral, and I can't wait to see y'all next week.
Somebody's got their swagger back.